Amy, I streamed for 2,000 plus hours for Omega Rank and hit Pro League right after. And the title Ask Me Anything. If you don't know me, I'm Sir Skull45, an Omega Strikers community member that grinded their ass non-stop for 3+ months for a rank in a video game on Twitch. I hosted a Omega Strikers playlist on my stream filled with other Omega creators' content. This was a journey that took a little over 3 months to complete. I made a video talking about my experience here. I archived the first and last weeks of the stream through highlights on my Twitch analytics, Striker, and Curse Strike pages from Season 1 right here. If you had any aha moments where you realized fundamental things that allowed you to push to the next level skill-wise, could you share those? For sure, this was during open beta, but realizing I could just pass to myself by dribbling with X was huge and helped me further develop my playstyle on X. This wasn't much of an aha, but passing to my teammates, even if they were a lower skill level, was valuable. Another time was during the time I was Challenger. I noticed meter usage/management was heavily rewarded, along with keeping track of other people's meters was also really valuable. What emotes did you dominantly use? Hex, Chad, and Dubu, let's go or must picks for me. Julie, fiery determination goes hard. Julie, heart to top things off. Chad and Let's Go always stayed on, and I would switch to others sometimes. What was your longest losing streak? Can't remember fully, but I guesstimate 6 losses back in open beta. I got 9 loss streak on medium gold the last week. That's rookie numbers. /J. Just remembered I had a 7 loss streak around the start tournament arc in June. Did you ever play Dubu? Yeah, Dubu's fun AF, not on comp though. Oh, come on man, Dubu has got chops. He has the best res in the game too. Balls looking emoji. This is true. Give me your phone. Dubu. Are there things you change during a match in terms of playstyle to get you ahead or to turn the tide of the game in your favor? Mostly just going from goalie sitting to playing midfield, depending on the player, using their meter against them to get a better outcome later. Like making them dodge round start so when everyone else has meter they don't. Just a choice here, they're not really an entire play style change ammo. Did you ever have teammates who, if you got them on your team, you would be happy knowing you'd have an easier game, or enemies who you'd dread knowing you'd have a harder game? Absolutely. There were also a couple players I would dread seeing on my team because I knew we don't have much chemistry and would constantly get in the way of each other. Even so, they're still gnarly ass. Mostly the best goalies of the game would be of note. I love seeing them on my team, but otherwise I would be in pain unless I had another gnarly goalie on my side. Congrats, Big X man. Do you still leave to get food mid-stream? I defoed it a couple times, but they would be in like 10 minutes, where I would just book it out of my house through a nearby store, slamming my debit card on the little pad and then run even faster back to my house in like 10 minutes. Also, thank you. How good do you think X is as a forward at top level play, and which stages is he best on? The state of X right now, he got slightly hampered purely due to map pool. In Season 1 map pool, I say he was good. He's still really good, but he's pretty dependent on maps because of his lacking mobility. The current map pool, X is having a more rough time because Inky is more frequent. Demon Days was an instant X classic, but that's out the game. It was possible to get him working on it in City with certain awakenings and slick kicks. He wasn't viable, but you could make it work. Inky's False Zone feels terrible to play on if you're X just due to the snowball nature of the map, making it really hard for X to build awakenings around it and move around because of the giant laser and open nature. Gates of Obscura is fantastic for X, but as time goes on he might get worse as people get used to thinking with portals versus other characters. Only Village X is okay, nothing really to write home about. Night Market, he's good and plays off of Mag Souls much better. I'm his app if there's an enemy Rasmus, you're the free low. Otherwise just okay. Atlas Lab X is good. If I have to put it in tier list terms, X is mid-tier. He can still perform very well, just needs a little bit of a boost with teamwork to get things rolling. Any tips for X I should know? I feel very easily shut down where I can't contribute much to my team anymore. I have trouble against strikers with high mobility who ruin just baiting / juking my special. Track cooldowns and meter whenever you can. You don't need to memorize every cooldown ever, but get a general feel for when an ability can be used. Play around those cooldowns meter and put them into a situation where they can't get back up effectively. See if your opponent has any habits for juking and go from there. Finally, pass. It will lead to a better game state if your team is the one hitting the core more than the opponent. If you can't pass to your teammate, pass to yourself and set up your play with an ability to hit the core end. That's about it. How get good game? Find times the community likes to play, like Thursday evening and NHA is when all the high elo players like to play competitive. You can also look for in Hoses. There's a Discord server called Omega 6s. That has ranked matchmaking, so you can have a 3 free custom with people of the same or similar rank. If you don't mind swimming with the big kids, then just drop by the competitive Omega Strikers Ayakosuka server for some in Hoses. Hoses are such a fucking vibe. Otherwise, prayed. What was the biggest moment of Illo Hell and how did you overcome it? Also, how do you deal with kill comps on the opposite team? Thank you for this AMA. I'm kinda stuck in climbing right now. Illo Hell isn't real, just cope. Something considered an Illo Hell moment would be getting to Diamonds versus a team of Challenger players, with me being the only Chally on my team. I managed to get a gnarly meter build together with Exona and City and would hard focus on building meter, so I could speed up with Ego Assist and shove the core into the enemy goal for an insane reverse sweep. Keeping the core to myself and only passing when I 100% knew it would get to my teammate to set me up. Also, right now there's a lot of rank congestion because of the reset, so don't stress about your rank until month 1 of the season concludes. Also, NP, it's one of the reasons I made the AMA. Any tips for KBM? I want to get better at it, but I feel slower than when I'm on controller. Also, which input is better? When using any new controller, you're going to feel off for at least 1 to 2 weeks in a month and a half at most. I come from fighting games, so using different controllers is par for the course in my experience. Going from stick to pad interchangeably or pad to keyboard in some cases. Trust that you will develop the muscle memory. Unless you already have years of PC mobile muscle memory, I don't recommend mobile controls. Most is the way to go in my opinion. You have 8 directions of movement at all times and don't have to fling your mouse wildly while trying to move and aim. In the game about aiming and moving. Tips wise, just play PC games that have you use WASD or mobile style controls. You'll feel the speed come back eventually. Hey, wanted to know if you have some tier list or ranking in terms of the best forwards to play. No? Do you think you'll enter any upcoming tourneys? Most likely no, maybe for fun or a couple fighting game tournaments when I grind out more fighting games. Finding a team I like is too much like dating, and I don't want to touch the game during tournaments unless I'm duct taped to fill in for someone else. Very fair. I have a friend and trying to find a third for their team, and it's like all their personalities clash, so it's really difficult to find mates you can work with and that you trust to do their job. I dislike communication.
Hi, I'm the fluid that answers all the questions. That's me. Subscribe, but not for Reddit videos. This is a one-time thing. I hate making Reddit videos. This was ass instead of text-to-speech, but that's always fun. But I digress. I'm probably streaming while you're watching this. If it's a Friday evening on the East Coast, it's chill. Making video essays right now. I got some in the oven. They come out on these dates. If it's the future, check them out. Please. I love you forever. May your W's be many and L's be until next time. Huzzah.